We live in a time of such confusion and rancor, with a culture that puts a premium on things that don't last. Money, fame, status, likes.
Tease hip.
We chase the approval of strangers on our phones.
Wow, iPhone.
We build all manner of walls and fences around ourselves, and then we wonder why we feel so alone.
Wow.
We don't trust each other as much because we don't take the time to know each other. And in that space between us, politicians and algorithms teach us to caricature each other and troll each other.
Oh my God.
And fear each other.
He's 100% right, Lamau. Yeah, that's what happens when you say like really broad platitudes that don't mean anything. People don't trust each other enough. We don't engage with each other, but there's a shared humanity that we need to Yeah, that's what a platitude is. That's why it's useless. We all understand, like, I can't, what am I even supposed to say about this? Like, rhetorically, it's Obama. We had him as president for 8 years. Messaging-wise, it's Obama. Like, okay.
But here's the good news, Chicago. All across America, in big cities and small towns, away from all the noise, the ties that bind us together are still there. We still coach Little League and look out for our elderly neighbors.
The arc of speeches like this narratively are always the same. America is a beautiful, glorious, beautiful, shining city on the hill, perfect, fantastic, but we have lost our way. People have been led astray due to the evil machinations of Donald Trump or whatever else, someone, some party, some person. We've lost our way. But underneath that, fundamentally, we're all the same and we all get along and we just need to rediscover our shared humanity and then everything will be all right. That's the narrative arc of speeches like this, and it's why I don't care for them. It's liberal bullshit. It's not systemic analysis. It doesn't even gesture at systemic analysis. It's the opposite of systemic analysis, if anything. I don't care for it. I don't like it, you know? You've all heard me criticize it before. I know we've got an audience here of people who have probably not heard those criticisms, and to those people I say, go watch all 800,000 of my videos. Vaush, but genuinely, what's the alternative except for aggressive rhetoric against the GOP? Aggressive rhetoric against the GOP. Speeches can't 100% be that. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. You can also say positive and aspirational stuff without descending into this kind of rhetoric. Isn't it good messaging compared to the crap the GOP is spewing? This messaging was what bridged into Trump winning in 2016. So I don't care for it.
Because the vast majority of us do not want to live in a country that's bitter and divided.
This is what I mean. This is the thing. This is what I'm opposed to. Yes, they do, man. Republicans constantly seek that bitter division. That's the whole thing they're here for. There are material causes for it. It's not like it's like a genetic thing in their brain that makes them like that, at least not for most of them. But yeah, no, they seek the division because they're being fed propaganda where they believe that the division is something that needs to be directly identified and rooted out. Could you imagine saying this about Nazis, dude? Like, imagine looking at Republican rhetoric on trans people for the past 6 years and going, yeah, they don't seek division. What do you mean? Go on Twitter right now. Go look at conservative messaging on Twitter right now. They're fucking psychopaths. And most, you can say that the majority of Republicans are haplessly victim to it. You know, they fall into it. And I believe that. I do. I don't think that they're all like cognitively aware of how fucking evil they are, you know, but I don't like it. I don't like this. I don't like this.
We want something better.
Again, no, Republicans and Democrats are not just two equally morally invested groups that want the same thing and just disagree on the method to get to it. Republicans they're cheering mass deportation now. 20 million. The campaign pitch is 20 million Americans deported. The idea that trans people and gay people are groomers and pedophiles who are ruining the moral fabric of this country is not like an unspoken implication. It is woven into the messaging of the party. Stop. They're not like us. They ain't like us. Stop with this reaching across the aisle bullshit. You did it for 8 years and it never worked. It never worked. They took advantage of you for it. You spent 8 years trying to appeal to a bipartisan consensus that never existed, and then McConnell denied you your rightful Supreme Court pick for 6 months because they ain't like us. They don't believe in the rules.
As Michelle
I don't
mentioned,
want bipartisan rhetoric, Annie. I'm talking about winning over independents and alienated people, which Obama lost, which is why he got fewer people to turn out in 2012 than 2008. And in 2016, Hillary Clinton got even fewer, you know? There was no real ideological through line. I'm not talking about winning Democrats here. I'm talking about building up beyond that. Of course he'll get applause at the DNC. It's the DNC, and it's Obama. This time around, this approach could be more successful. I love running like a socialist community and like the moment Obama speaks, you guys just falter to the rhetoric. You're weak. You're sheeple. I'm sorry. This is standard liberal nothing speak, and you should be able to clock that shit from a mile away. You know, you see what he's got a bit of riz. That's all it takes. I've been criticizing this shit since day one of the channel. Now you're just hearing it live, and you're like, wait, hold on a second. Maybe hope and change. Like all of this is part of the blueprint. Yeah, but I think it's hard to call for national unity while calling your opponents Nazis, even if they are. I don't want national unity. Who wants national unity? I want to win. You're not getting national unity. You don't win this with bipartisan appeal and consensus. You win this by overwhelming the opposition and, you know, socially alienating them. It is as it ever was. That's how you win, you know? This rhetoric is the opposite of class analysis. Rhetoric is not all neutral. Different kinds of rhetoric, the way you make these arguments, the way you appeal to people, imply different views of the world. This view of the world is fundamentally collaborationist. It's the same one that Obama tried for 8 years that directly led to Donald Trump. The stuff he's saying right now was the groundwork for Donald Trump winning. All of the you're praising you're taking bricks from the staircase that led to Trump winning in 2016. It is meaningless, vapid, liberal nothing speak that doesn't address real issues, that appeals to a common sensibility that doesn't exist, that ignores fundamental divisions, class-wise, morally, whatever else. Nothing that I'm offering right now is like a super, like, I'm not saying anything controversial right now. This has been a pretty standard talking point for leftists online for like 16 years. It's Obama. He's a neoliberal. He's to the right of Kamala Harris, significantly to the right of Joe Biden, if you take a look at like average policy over the course of their respective presidential terms, at the very least, because Joe Biden shifted quite a bit to the left since his Senate days in terms of the stuff he proposed. In terms of like respective to AOC, you know, like he made calls behind the scenes trying to like stop Bernie Sanders, right? Have we forgotten? Do you think it's a coincidence that the guy with the vapid neoliberal rhetoric might have also been like strong-arming people to oppose left populism in the party? Do you guys only dislike Hillary Clinton because she looks evil? You know that Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama are like pretty parallel when it comes to their ideologies, policies that they pushed. They ran against each other in 2008. The difference mostly came down to rhetoric and presentation, not like a massive difference in their political perspectives. Is it a sexism thing? Trying to be bipartisan when there are maniacs like MTG and Gates are not actually associated with Nazis. Do you think Marjorie Taylor Greene and Gates are the problem with the Republican Party, or just because they're like the loud and stupid ones, you think they're the issue? Do you think if you shaved off the loudest 10% of the Republican Party, the rest of it would be fine? Like removing mold from the surface of a block of cheese? The veins of mold extend all the way into the food, you know. It's all poison. The whole party's doing the Project 2025 thing. You know that, right? They're all rallied behind Trump, and Trump is with the Heritage Foundation on this one. It's the end of democracy. The other party wants to end democracy. They want to revoke gay marriage. They want to ban contraception and abortion. They want to forcibly detransition all trans people, quite possibly sending them to conversion camps. None of this is implied. It's all on the damn ticket. So what bipartisan unity do you want? What national unity do you want? What do you want to work with them on? They want to deport 20 million people. That's a promise. That's a campaign promise with Donald Trump. They want to deport 20 million people. It would be one of the largest mass deportations in human history. They would have to build camps, you know? Camps and train cars and rail yards to move that many people. What bipartisan unity would you like to achieve with them? What do you agree on that you think you could work together? And if your answer is, I don't want to work together with them, I want to change their mind, then you don't actually want unity. That's not what unity means. That's winning. Unity is not, we are together on the condition that they agree with me, but they don't agree with you. Winning is when you change their mind. That's the win. I'm not trying to condescend here. I just feel like sometimes you guys are pretty vulnerable to the rhetoric, right? Like, I get it. Obama's a good speaker. And I don't think he's Hitler or anything. But like, damn, man. None of this is like crazy out there analysis. We've been there before. Winning might imply to people that the losers are exiled instead of changed. Come, do you think, would you really, like, the left winning means that 100 million Republicans are sent to Mexico? Come on. But yeah, no, you don't change most people's minds. After the Nazis lost, most Germans who were educated under Hitler's Germany didn't change their minds. They were just shamed and ostracized, and their children eventually replaced them. Also, a lot of them got jobs with NATO and NASA. Yeah, I'm sorry, a lot of your Republican family members aren't coming back. They're wretched people, and they're going to die wretched. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. It's always been that way. The plasticity of their minds is not like what it used to be. It's sad but true. I don't want to lie to you. If you're doing this to like fight for their souls, I mean, good luck, but that's a personal battle. Unfortunately, in the meantime, the lives and well-being of tens of millions of people relies on their disempowerment. They cannot win. They not like us. The Republican base is redeemable and they agree more with progressive policies than the party elite. That just look at the ballot initiative results across the country. Yes, I'm not saying they can't have their minds changed. I'm saying that A, a lot of them won't. That's a fact. And B, none of this changes the fact that they still have to lose. The fact that they're unaware of their own interests and how to enable them is irrelevant to this. They have to lose. Annie, I don't know why you're arguing against a position that I don't have. You know, you've watched me for so long. You're perfectly aware of the fact that I believe the average Republican voter is like a stooge who's being led around. But a lot of them never get out of that position. I don't understand none of this is inconsistent with the position that it's not about unity with these people. It's about beating them. They want to elect people who will do great harm. If they are beaten, those elected officials will lose. That's what beating them is. Annie, I genuinely don't know what inconsistency you're trying to draw attention to. Are we opposed to the idea of beating Republicans now? Is that too controversial for socialist YouTubers? Didn't you tell us to go out and see most of these people are not like this and would have the stomach to do any of this Project 2025 stuff? Project 2025 is government policy, not individual interpersonal stuff. Wait, I'm sorry, wait, what series of positions have you guys imagined yourselves into believing that I'm currently holding that contradict other things? What statements have I made here that are disagreeable? We have to beat the Republicans. Who are you even fighting? I feel like I've encountered significant resistance for positions that are not only correct, but like obviously correct. So we're going to work them out and then we're going to move on. So what exactly is the inconsistency here? You don't think they can change their minds? I never said that. The average person, the average Republican, especially considering their age, will not have their mind changed. They're not going to be made not a Republican. That's like a factual, I mean, that's like that's very obviously the case. Yeah, conspiracy brain is like, not only is conspiracy brain really difficult to come back from, but it's also the norm now in the Republican voter circles. Like, being a supporter of Donald Trump now necessitates being conspiracy brain. There's no rational way to be a Republican, like an active Republican, you know what I mean? There's no way to thread that needle at this point. It's a cult. I don't think you're going to change most of their minds. Now, individually, some of their minds can be changed. There's no guarantees when you're talking about groups of people that large. And what's more, that doesn't mean that all of them are like Hitler. They vote in Hitler. That doesn't mean they're Hitler. But if you vote in Hitler, you're a little bit Hitler. I mean, if you are in a mental state where you're capable of being manipulated into being a toady for you know, Project 2025 agenda. You know, you're willing to like vote it in, defend the people who are enabling it. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're ideologically on the level with everything that the people you voted in are doing, but I still don't want unity with you. Because when I hear unity, I hear stuff like what Obama's suggesting, that there's some kind of common humanity that we need to rediscover to move forward. Like, I don't believe in any of this. There's no common humanity that we've lost. There's no communication breakdown. There are fascists and non-fascists, you know? The Nazis rising up in 30s Germany, that wasn't like, oh, you know, people in Weimar Germany have lost their way, but we have underneath it, there's like a fundamental truth that we need to That's not, like, what is that? That rhetoric is nothing. It wouldn't do anything then. It doesn't do anything now. Maybe some of them can change their minds, but you have to beat them. You have to win. They can't win, man. You don't want them to win.